Hello, friends. In this video, we're going to be covering B Corp and B Corp certification. What is it? Maybe you've seen this logo on some of your products that you buy, or maybe that you see in the grocery store. Maybe you have heard or seen the word B Corp be mentioned online in the news. On a website, perhaps. So what is it and why is it important? And perhaps you are B Corp curious. Maybe you're a business that's considering whether B Corp could be something that you pursue as a certification for your own activities. Well, B Corp and B Lab, the organization that actually does this certifying, it's not that old. B Corp only started in 2006. It was founded by three friends who were truly just sick of, what was happening in the corporate world and what was happening with brands and their activities. They were inspired to do something different and to show that business could be a force for good. And so these three friends, Jay Cohen Gilbert and Brad Houlihan and Andrew Cassoy, wanted to make business a force for good and inspire others to do the same because they knew that it could be done. These three friends were inspired actually by some of the biggest brands at the time that had been doing good from almost their inception. And so these brands like Patagonia, Newman's Own, and Ben & Jerry's had been committed to social and environmental activities and commitments for a really long time. And so they thought, how can we make other companies do this too? It was possible to be both profitable and to be a good corporate citizen in the world. And so they launched B Lab, which is a nonprofit organization that does the certifying of companies as B Corps. And it helps them actually manage their impact on society and their environment through other activities that it does with the B Corp community. And B Corp certification is actually not your average, green label that you slap on your product or on your website. Because it doesn't just certify one part of your business, it actually certifies every part of your business. It actually says your business is good. It's not about making you feel good. It's actually about verifying and validating that a business is telling the truth about its commitments on the environmental, social, and even the governance side of things. And really is a comprehensive assessment of the entire company and its operations, from worker engagement, community involvement, environmental footprint and activities, to customer relationships, and to even governance and how the company is run and how it is held accountable to the work and activities that it does. The assessment is based on a massive 200-point scale. So what does it actually take to become B Corp certified? Well, you have to get a score of at least 80 points on that assessment and pass a risk review to get the certification. While 80 points might seem not that much out of 200, it's actually a really hard score to get. Companies like even Patagonia, the best performers, only sort of tap out at a score of 150, 140. And so 80 is actually a really good achievement. That scoring and that assessment's even harder for multinationals and companies that have multiple entities. But wait, there's more. In order to actually achieve your certification, company must also make a legal commitment to be accountable to stakeholders, all of their stakeholders, not just their shareholders. What that means is that you actually have to make a change in your articles of incorporation for your company. And in some jurisdictions where a benefit company, that's a different type of legal entity, is available, you actually have to switch to that legal benefit corporation entity. And so that's a pretty big commitment. In addition to that, companies also have to truly exhibit transparency by allowing their performance to be publicly available on B Lab's website. And that's not the end. Companies are actually required to recertify every 3 years. What that means is that B Lab will actually do that B Corp assessment again on that company and see how they're doing. And so you have the potential of moving your score up. Or, if you're not doing so well, or if you're not actually meeting your commitments, your score could actually go down. So this is like an ongoing cycle of improvement. And when you have a B Corp certification, consumers and stakeholders can feel comfortable in the sense that you're actually committing to not only showing that you're doing good, but actually doing good and doing better over time, because we can always do better. And it's not just about getting that shiny certificate and logo, which is awesome, and more customers and more stakeholders actually recognizing what B Corp is and what it means, but it's about being a force for good in the world, right? And it's about being part of this community that is committed to doing good in our world. And truly understanding our own impact as companies, as stakeholders, and even shareholders on society and the environment. And that is why we're seeing such massive movement and growth in the B Corp community. This movement is growing. There are now over 6,000 B Corps in over 80 countries and representing over 150 different industries. And this is growing year over year. And some of the biggest names have really jumped on board, not only because they know it's good for business, but that it's good for the planet. We're thinking Dana in North America, Chloe, the luxury fashion brand, and Patagonia, of course, Ben & Jerry's, and many, many others. So if you're curious about B Corp, you know a little bit more, go to the B Corp assessment, go start taking the questions, see where you stand as a company, and let's be a force for good for the planet and people, and join this amazing community. If you aren't already, make sure you subscribe to the Impact Brief. We've got videos being released weekly, and we're going to try to tackle all the topics in business and sustainability and how we can all do better through business.